Hello everyone. Hope y'all can hear me good. There is music in the background. I've decided to make all 4 videos separately, and I'm still deciding if the 4th video God wants me to share. But I did change the lighting, and obviously the camera's lower, blah blah blah. But if you haven't seen my other 2 videos, you should definitely go watch them. Anyways, this dream is a little bit shorter, but it's along the same topic of the dream about doing what God says. And so basically this dream starts out, and I was hiking on a very snowy mountain with 2 of my friends. These friends I know in real life, we're really really close, and we had come across this like refuge area, and we're all freezing cold. We feel like we need to sit down. We've been hiking for hours, and then we go inside of this refuge area, and this refuge area isn't like, it's not high quality, it's just like shelter, and it's kind of like a convenience store but for hiking, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if they actually exist. I will have to look it up. Change the setup again, doesn't really matter. Anyway, we open the door and we go inside. The lights are off. I'm just gonna call it a gas station, even though it's not a gas station. I'm just gonna call it that throughout the video. Anyway, and we walk into there, and it's cold, and the lights are off, and there's supposed to be someone at the register, and there's no one there. We kind of notice like these newspapers scattered on the floor. I don't think they deliver news into the mountains on Antarctica. And the newspapers go back to like the 1980s. There's no recent newspapers. It's like, I think the latest dated newspaper that we found there was like 1990 something, maybe 2000s at the latest. Showing each other these newspapers, they're like normal newspapers. It's not even relevant to where we're at. It's like a newspaper from somewhere else, and we're all going like through these newspapers just to find something to do, because we're obviously gonna wait the snowstorm out, and then we're gonna continue hiking up the mountain. And we're reading one of the newspapers, and then it mentions a monster, kind of like a Yeti, because it showed a picture. The picture was really, really, really grainy, but and it was kind of like a Yeti looking thing, but it was more resembled a bear than a human. Like, it was like a bear Yeti, because it was on all 4s, and it had like really, really long white fur. It did not look like a polar bear at all. Like, it reminded me of a bear, but it didn't look like a polar bear. Alright, change the lighting again. You'll be fine, you'll survive. Just letting you know, so you don't think you're going crazy when things shift. Also, I want to add very quickly, thank you for all of the prayers, and I really do appreciate it. Obviously I was in a dark time. My mom talked about it quite a bit in her videos, so thank you for that. And on with the dream. So we're sharing like all of the newspapers, every single one. Well, I'm just gonna call it a Yeti, but it was not a Yeti. Want to make that very clear too. We were like looking at it, and we were like, what in the world is this? And we're really confused. But anyway, we're like looking out because there are windows, but like they were really, 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 really dusty. Because if we look outside and we see like a Yeti, even though it's not a Yeti, if we look outside and we see a Yeti, we gotta go. We're gonna stay in here. And so we're like scared, but we also kind of know this might be fake. And God, I just want to add, God has been like I don't know how to describe it. God has been like in my head this whole time, like talking to me as we're on the hike. That's why we were able to go for so long, because we were all talking to God. The newspaper, this is us. This is the town, not near us. This Could be on the other side of the planet. We don't know. But it's not here. The newspapers that we found here in the convenience store are about here. But those newspapers from here are in this convenience store. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Because here was also snowy. It was also mountainous. And if I'm being honest, it looked really, really similar to the area we were in. So we were like, okay, if this area has a bunch of newspapers about the Yeti, even though it's not a Yeti, then the Yeti must have like moved here, or they must have the same kind of thing going on. And we're done with the newspapers. We sat down the newspapers. And keep in mind, this is all in like 5 minutes. All of this in like 5 minutes, but there's a lot of details, so I'm trying to get through it. And we talked to each other for a minute, and we talked to God, and we're having a conversation. God isn't necessarily telling us the Yeti's real, the Yeti's fake. But there's someone, like, I don't want to say knocking. It was more like on the window, and it was so creepy. Like I said, like the dream itself, it wasn't like a horror dream, it wasn't like a nightmare, but the windows were so dirty and disgusting, we couldn't see who was behind the window. Because why are you behind the window and not, I'm like looking behind me, sorry, that part in the dream actually freaked me out. Anyway, there was someone behind the window, like, doing like that. Like, they weren't like that. They weren't trying to get our attention. They were just messing with the window. And it creeped us out. Because we didn't know if it was a person. We didn't know if it was the Yeti. We didn't know if it was God, okay? We didn't know anything. God had, like, we were asking God all these questions, and he wasn't answering us yet. Obviously, we decided not to check it out. And we barricade the door with a bunch of heavy things, and then God comes back and he's like, why are you barricading the door? And we say, well, we don't know what's out there. We don't know what in the world is, because we knew it was a something. Like, we knew it wasn't the wind or snow. Well, we don't know what it is. And then he says, I know what it is. And then we kind of just freeze, and we're like, what is it? And he doesn't answer. And then we're like, so should we not barricade the door? And God just says no. And this is like the least talkative he's been. Like, up until this point, we were like talking like we were besties, like, this is so funny, and cracking jokes with each other. And then he kind of just says no. So we pull the stuff away from the door, and we open the door, and we like look outside for a minute. And then we see, like, this man. It was a young man. Like, I mean, like, teenager. And we three are adults in the dream. We're not, I'm 14 right now. We were adults in the dream. So this boy was younger than us, and we were like, what are you doing? And he's kind of just standing in the door, in the window, looking inside the gas station. And he was scared of us. Like, as when we came out and we asked him, what are you doing? He, like, jumped. And he, like, didn't run away, but he, like, backed up really quickly. And he's like, who are you? We were like, well, we were just trying to get in the gas station. We're hiking, obviously. Like, the nearest civilization is, like, hours and hours away. What are you doing? And he says, well, I'm supposed to be working here. And it just got really weird at that point. Like, we were both quiet for like a minute straight, just staring at each other. And then the scene switches, and, for some reason, we're all together hiking, and we're all talking to God, because this man, he was a Christian too. And we're hiking, and we're talking to God, and we're just cracking jokes, and all of a sudden, God goes silent again. And so we're like, what's wrong? And then all of a sudden we hear like something scratching up a tree. Newsflash, it's the Yeti. and we hear something scratching up a tree, but we can't really see what it is because the snowstorm went away, but for some reason it was like it wasn't clear outside. Like it was like it still was snowing kind of, but not like a snowstorm. Like it wasn't. It was just. You can kind of see it. It's huge, by the way. It's like 9 feet tall, and it's like scratching its way up a tree. And I think it was trying to get something, but I couldn't see clearly. And so, for some reason, we weren't scared at all. The three of us weren't scared. The boy, however, was freaked out. He started screaming his head off, and the Yeti, even though it's not a Yeti, it looked like it had like a longer neck. Like its neck was like that long, and then there was his head. It like looked over at us and then like went down the tree, and God came back and he said, "I've got you." And the boy was still screaming, so he couldn't hear God. And we're trying to get him to calm down because he's drawing attention from the Yeti, and God is just saying, "I got you. I got you. Don't worry. I've got you." And this guy is screaming his head off, and we're like, "God's got you. God's got you. It's okay. Calm down. Stop screaming." And he just will not stop screaming. And all of a sudden, God yells, "I've got you." He sounded mad, but he's God, so. And the boy, he's still shaking because it's cold, and obviously he's scared. Like, the creature Yeti, even though it's not a Yeti, it stands up on its, like, hind legs, and it's, like, things are really, they're, like, out, but, like, it goes long, and, it was kind of sniffing the air, but, again, I couldn't really see it. I just kind of saw its, like, black eyes, some big eyes, but anyway, and he's still shaking, and he's, like shaking down to the bone, and all of a sudden, the Yeti just, like, it doesn't disappear, per se, but it kind of wisps into the snow, and he's staring at it, or staring at the wisp, so it's going very slowly, but it kind of just, like, dissipates into the snow, and God says, "I've got you," and then the dream ended. So, probably almost all of that was symbolic. Obviously, what I got from that is, do not get caught up in your worries, anxiety. Even when you have God, sometimes it can feel like there's a lot of pressure on you, or there's something coming up in your life and you're super, super scared about it, and you don't feel like you're ready. Obviously, I'm pretty sure every Christian has experienced it at this point. 5 years under, 5 years and up, you probably experienced something scary. Like you want to scream, or you kind of just freeze. And sometimes you have to not necessarily calm down, but slow your thoughts so you can listen to God when he is trying to tell you it's okay. Because even when you're like, well, it's not okay, I'm scared, I could die, which was the situation we were in. Like, he was staring at the Yeti and God was screaming at him like, "Oh my goodness, what do I do? Like, whatever." And he had to stop screaming so he could hear, "I've got you." And then that's when God got rid of the Yeti. So, thank you for listening.